Hey everyone, this is the latest LEGO Star Wars Sandcrawler set. And if you want to hear and see why I believe this is a truly great, not good, but great little Sandcrawler set, then keep watching. But first, we must complete a full rotation looking at this from different sides, so you can get a good idea for its size and scale, and also its proportions. Now, on the topic of scale, the very last Sandcrawler we got from LEGO that was designed to work with minifigs was the UCS one. You know, that one was really, really impressive. It cost more than twice as much as this, but comparing the dimensions, this one is 12 inches long, the other was 18. That's 31 versus 48 centimeters. This one is 7 inches tall versus 9 inches for the UCS one. That's 18 versus 24 centimeters, roughly. The single dimension differences are not that significant when you really look at the numbers, especially compared to the difference in price. However, I definitely must say this looks tiny in comparison. I don't still have that UCS Sandcrawler here, but I remember it clearly, still have the video review for it up, and this feels like about half as much vehicle in total. However, it is not lacking in features and playability. As a matter of fact, it may be even better in many ways than that much larger previous model. For its size, this thing has a very respectable amount of detail and usefulness and play features, such as the 4-track, actually technically 8-track steering, and I appreciate the inclusion of the doubled up track runs for either side. There's not a lot of steering angle that's available here, but they did a tricky thing with the little cheater tires here to give traction to make sure all those treads actually turn. They just skip parts of the inner treads, so these still look right from the outside, from the front, and from the back, but you get that traction on harder surfaces from having the actual direct drive from the rubber tires. It's smart. This greebling detail on the rear is very good and has a lot of depth to it, though I personally despise the appearance of blue pins and axle pins where they show up. Fortunately, they're not too prominent. And the view from the top is not half bad. Again, I personally favor the area towards the rear. A nice little bit of greebling, and it has, again, a nice amount of depth. The interior, though, is where this model has so much win. You can take off the entire roof panel there. You can take off this entire side panel here. You can flip this up. You can flip the other side up as well. You can take off this panel. You can flip this up. You can bring down the main ramp in the front. And where the UCS model took up most of its interior space with all sorts of cross members and Technic frame, like we have some Technic frame here, this one leaves a lot of space where you can get your hands in there and put figures in there and actually play. I showed you the worst side first because this one has more detail in it that's actually built in, including the crane that can come all the way out and that can reach right down to the ground to pick up a droid by its head, either from the ground or from a little skiff. I can bring things right in. I like the fact that this has the no friction pin at the end there, so it's always just letting gravity do its thing. You can bring this in and start doing some work. Different places where you can pose this up. You can also bring it in relatively close in here. Spin that around a little bit. Set it right there if you want. We'll even practically take you up to the upper floor. You have to use your imagination just a little bit, but a good range for what it is. This is a nice little area to put a Jawa there or a little worker droid. And believe it or not, there are no stickers there. The console on the left is a print, and the display on the right is a print as well. You get a little bit of a staircase here that takes you up to a platform that leads across to the other side, and there's a little bit of basically like hangar bay or garage bay in the front. That's where you'd drive your little mini land barge up, and that goes all the way in and can be stored in place with the ramp up. So you can have a gallery of droids stored over here. You have the small little transport vehicle in the garage with or without its cargo. Its cargo can be stored up above. You can put a figure or two on this platform here You can have the crane arm fully folded up over here, and you can do all that with every exterior panel all the way on. Plus, I have not even gotten to the cockpit. Though I do have to say, I hate how large this opening is. It's nice to be able to see a full Jawa there for scale and everything. Canonically, there is an open space on this side of the Sandcrawler, but it's just a little bit big. I wish they had included either just a little frame to put in there to make it look smaller, or a single plate to cover it up just as an option. Nom. And here's the driving compartment. If you arrange the figures just right, you can actually get 3 back here and another one up at the front. And this whole control panel dashboard assembly is pretty nice. The set only comes with 2 Jawas though, but at least they have the different torso prints on them, and that goes for both the front and the back for a little bit of variation. I would have liked to see a cloak piece, just a small cloth piece for these, or a 3rd Jawa at least. We get new variants of the RA7 protocol droid, which is done here in gunmetal gray as its base, and the medical droid on the right, which has the tan color for the base for its torso, which includes the head. Does not have any head articulation. You can't turn that side to side, but that's just a reuse of the existing piece. And yeah, you get a little bit of gunmetal gray print or dark silver print on the RA7 as well, which is a little bit subtle unless the light hits it just right, and then it makes all kinds of sense because it gives you a little bit of damage, that wear. This astromech droid is new in Lego form. This is R5A2, using the school bus yellow color, the orangish yellow or yellowish orange color. Too bad they don't have the printing going all the way around the head. It's just done from the front and from the back. It's a little bit askew here, but not too bad, and it has that little bit of wear on it as well, a little bit of dirtiness, so that's pretty good. I like this. And then they include a Tatooine Luke Skywalker as just the token human, because if they didn't, all the human fans would be like, Lego's so racist against the human race, and they're only including non-humans in the sets. So yeah, they included one random human with 2 faces. The little standalone transport that you can park inside the Sandcrawler is pretty basic, but it looks about right. It does not have anything that will actually roll. They just have the Technic lift arms to represent tracks on the sides, but you can put the single Jawa on the front. You can put these 2 canisters in the back, or you can also carry along an astromech droid, or basically anything. So when you put everything together, what everything looks like here, what you can do with the set, and then look at the price to part ratio, which is well within the normal range, the reasonable range. And I feel like Lego has created a successful set here that is pretty good looking, that a lot of collectors will be able to enjoy on display, including both the figures and the main thing itself, small as the Sandcrawler is. And most importantly, a lot of kids will enjoy this. I think that this is a better toy than the UCS Sandcrawler was, because you can use the interior space so much more easily. It's just more efficient, especially considering the fact that this costs less than half as much as that UCS one did, and is only a third shorter, a third less in height. Its overall bulk is definitely significantly less. It feels like it's about half the size of the other, but it's not half as much of a toy, that's for sure. This Sandcrawler may be a little bit on the small side, but it definitely punches above its weight class. It's a very, very smart design with useful features and a lot of useful space. And I don't think it's overpriced. So there you have it. That's why I feel this is a great little set. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll talk to you again soon.